Hey guys, how are you? I hope you're doing fine, as always. Today we'll be breaking down one of I-DLE's greatest songs, Villain Dies. The song is about someone who has been cast as the villain of a story by another person, the heroine. When the song was first released, there was a debate as to whether it was about Soojin's history on her departure from the group or not, and that is what we'll be discussing today. Please be aware that this video will be based entirely on things the girls have said and theories/hints that give away that this is about Soojin. Before we begin, it is crucial to note that the album in which the song was released, I Never Die, was based on preconceptions and prejudices that exist in the world, specifically those they have encountered throughout their lives. Soyeon stated that the album describes a war they've been fighting for a long time. Interestingly enough, Soyeon states that this war lasted about 2 years, almost the same time it took for their hiatus following Soojin's scandal. That being said, I think it's a fair assumption to say that they're including what she faced too. The purpose of this song is to question who really is the villain of a story. A story has many sides, and depending on people's perspectives, even a good person can be seen as the villain. In this case, the villain was claimed as such simply because the hero pointed them as one, leading others through the same twisted perspective. This initiated the whole villain against the hero narrative. The song opens as if it's a fairy tale with "once upon a time," which is a stock phrase used to introduce a narrative of past events in tales. These, in the majority, have a happy ending. It's a hint that the villain of this story will thrive at the end. Soojin left I-DLE because a woman who went to the same school as she accused her of bullying during high school. Soojin was put on a hiatus, faced hate, tried to defend herself, and eventually left. This song talks about the public perception of the villain in the story, Soojin. This is why Soojin is treated as the villain throughout the song, and the woman who accused her is considered a heroine. So many things right off the bat. Soojin has a somewhat connection to strawberries. I don't know if it has become her favorite fruit now because it used to be peaches, but we can assume so for a couple of reasons. The first one is because she's been recommending many sweets that are strawberry flavored, and coincidentally or not, Soojin's 5th post on Instagram after coming back was a painting of a strawberry with 6 seeds. It's kind of funny that they use the word machan here, which means banquet or a bigger dinner, usually with more people, yet her meal is a strawberry candy. This may be referring to her last meal with the girls. It was revealed by Soojin's aunt back in 2021 that she was barely eating during the whole thing. The candy most likely symbolizes Soojin's inability to properly eat out of sadness. Having no idea what was going to happen, she wondered if that would be her final meal with the girls. It did not matter how much Soojin attempted to stop the lies. She tried with multiple handwritten letters, but they didn't work. She tried with her lawyer's statement, but it did not work. Everything just backfired, and people kept coming for her. None of her shots hit the heroine. The love Soojin received as an idol was gone in seconds, all because someone twisted a narrative and others blindly believed. Even though Soojin's hiatus lasted around a year, the entire process lasted nearly 2 years, which is a long time. During that time, Soojin probably kept questioning herself as to when the nightmare would end. The chorus asks what would happen with the tale if the villain died or disappeared. In other words, what would happen if Soojin left? Then they give a small explanation of what would happen. Okay, representing acceptance. Bullet, representing willingness to fight love, representing persistence and death. Someone will end up dying, and according to the album's title, it's not I-DLE. The heroine is Soojin's because not only will Soojin get her revenge eventually, as you'll see throughout the video, but also because even though it seemed like a win for the heroine, it really wasn't. The actress will have her name attached to Soojin for life. Controversy will follow everywhere, and it'll be extra hard to get jobs. Oh, and yeah, the fact that she's going to hell for lying is also a loss for her. Soojin couldn't possibly die. It's impossible to erase her. She will be forever attached to I-DLE and the industry. Based on this, it's safe to assume that the sad ending of the heroine relies on a more psychological and external matter rather than on death or something similar. Despite the actress's claims that she had been bullied by Soojin, Soojin was not even in the same class as hers. There may have been coincidental encounters here and there, but they were never friends or colleagues, so the actress knew nothing about Soojin. Soojin is an expressive person, yet even in emotionally charged or difficult situations, she is renowned for keeping her cool. Despite this personality, she was undoubtedly suffering a lot throughout everything. Reports were there she couldn't even leave her house in that period. Soojin questions who the villain is once again, and after seeing people arguing her as one, she accepts it because that's what will get her through. They say she, implying that the heroine is a woman, confirming the theory that this is about Soojin. It is also said that the villain hates this woman, which is interesting and shows how mad Soojin is, because again, she is a very nice person, way too nice even. So the fact that she had this much hatred is a clear sign of how hurt she was. Villains are in theory evil people, so they probably go to hell once they die. Soojin conforms to her role, but she knows that the heroine is a manipulative liar, so she'll go to hell too. Pay attention to the lyrics here. She's talking to God, for Catholics mostly, the creator of our lives, or the author, the creator of a story. She's confirming our early theory that this is a tale of someone's life. Soojin's hatred drives her to plan something major, something that will change the plot of this play. An unexpected turn is about to come. Oh, there are many mentions of heaven, hell, God, and devil throughout the song. This is something Soyeon likes to do, as it allows her to place a bigger effect on the things she writes. She then asks why people love the actress, someone who's hurting her and clearly lying. This is the reference that Soojin would not leave the industry. She says that she won't let things be like this. She won't let the heroine win. Then she claims that there are many possibilities for the ending. Soojin probably had many options as to what to do at that moment, but she chose to laugh seeing how twisted everything was and closed the last page. The villain's laughter marks the ending of the last chapter, that's correct. This was Soojin's last chapter, but not her last tale. That's why afterward she asks to write that she will never die, implying that there's a new novel coming up. Despite all of what I said, relying purely on theories and things that are somewhat correlated to Soojin, we've had a few confirmations, and now we're going to take a look at it. The first confirmation was during their special performance of the song at the Golden Disc Awards, where they altered the intro from Korean to Thai, Minnie's native language, and stated, "Once upon a time, there was a woman. She hurt and bullied me, but people really liked her, and all that woman did was laugh." It is stated at the beginning that the villain was bullied by someone well-liked, so it is a famous person. Makes sense to be the actress. She was laughing through it all because it was all a lie. The performance took place at the beginning of 2023, and Soojin debuted later that year. The second confirmation happened at MMAs in 2022, where Soyeon had a special rap performance. The rap seems related to Villain Dies as the storyline tells itself. I'm going to break it down real quick to show you guys. Soojin loves the color red. It's not her favorite color, but she uses it very often and is famous for it. She also has a song called Blood Red Roses, and depending on how long they've been working on her debut, it could be a reference, but I don't think this is it. Soyeon is representing the villain here, and she is wearing a tight black dress. This is a reference to Nude and Marilyn Monroe, both of which are related to Soojin. If you want to understand more about it, I explained it in my Nude breakdown. Soojin has a thing for dancing in high heels. This is a reference to the part in Villain Dies, where the villain questions why people love the heroine. Soojin then says that it's better to be on guard if you love her, as she will get her revenge soon and take her down somehow. Do you remember when I said that the chorus is a small description of what would happen if the villain died? This is another reference to it. She says that she won't give up and won't give love. Unlike in the past, when Soojin was kind to those who hurt her, she will now fight and won't give up no matter what. The protagonist is usually the heroine, in this case, the actress. The bewitching evil, Soojin, will steal the scene. This is exactly what Soojin coming back means. It's a crazy act of defiance. She came back after a major scandal, from a big group years into the industry. It shows so much resilience, love, and persistence that it's almost insane, so it must give her the thrills. It's provocative, as she's out on her own, able to do anything but still part of them. Soojin has stated multiple times that freedom is what idol means to her, so it's interesting that they use this word here. The masterpiece is another confirmation that this is a tale. The upcoming chapter, that is currently being written, is considered a new masterpiece. The despicable villain is the name of the new story or tale. She learned to turn the jeers into fuel to keep going and accepted her role as the despicable villain. See, the story is connected to villain dies and perfectly matches what we know about Soojin and the scandal. The third confirmation may be a reach, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The song, Revenge from I-DLE's second full album 2, seems to be a continuation of Villain Dies, where the villain gets their revenge. I explained more of it in my revenge breakdown. Feel free to check it out too. So is the song really about Soojin? There are way too many coincidences to say that it's not, but we can't be delusional and say that it's about her and period. So as always, I bring another possibility to what the song can be about. For this one, it can be purely a take on the societal view on good and bad people. Soyeon stated, "It is always the hero's job to overcome adversity and find a happy ending." However, I thought, isn't the way we face the world to prove our worth more like what a villain would do? And I imagined an ending where the villain wins. So yeah, you can use this to deny every theory and explanation presented in the video. Since it's evident to me how depressed and angry they were back then, it's more than obvious to me that the song is about her. It's an album that talks about prejudice and injustice. Why wouldn't they talk about their best friend who endured so much pain on an album that talks specifically about that? Either way, feel free to believe in what you think is better. This is just an interpretation. Oh, and I know that many people will call this video a reach, etc., but I don't care. Many said the same thing about my wife breakdown, and Soyeon later confirmed everything, so just sit and wait. Thank you for watching. Love you and bye.